We doing it. It's Monday night. It's live. It's three wide action. Cold hard art. Cup Series from Richmond International Raceway. It's the nighttime. I hear it's the right time. I don't know. We'll find out. Matt Kingston, Thomas Morris, Trey Landry, the voices of reason, coming at you live tonight, covering flag to flag. Gentlemen, are you ready?
The voices of reason, that's a new one. But yes, I am definitely ready.
Me too.
That Matt guy's still shoveling snow, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of big pile here.
Well, as you can see, we are jumping in right after qualifying. You can see where your favorite driver qualified tonight. Shocker, the guy who won last night, sitting on the pole currently. Cameron Rich. Got Kevin Fanto's outside. He was pretty stout last night as well. Trey and Matt. And Corey Lindsay looking to show a little muscle here as we are in the final race of the regular season as we're getting ready to set some playoff grids here.
Yeah, there's only two drivers really on the bubble, but anybody from behind them, as long as they completed, 70% of the races, they can their way into the playoffs just on a win. So anything could happen here at Richmond. We've seen it last night. It was less than ideal, but tonight we should have some nice green flag racing and maybe a first-time winner.
Yeah, wouldn't that throw a wrench in the whole thing there, Matt? A new winner this late in the season? Guys can pinning their hopes on making the playoffs all year, and as you can see on the screen, some guys gonna have to win to get in, pretty much, unless they have a disastrous night from Race Clark and Mike Stevens. Gonna be pretty hard for guys like Cody Wright, Danny's not even here, Chad Brown got a long way to go, Brett Miller, all those guys, Matt Hackathorn gonna have to pull a rabbit out of the hat here to get in the playoffs.
Most of them are going to need wins, and looking at the boards, we might have Nathan Velez pull off the upset tonight. We've seen him at the Nathan Young Designs series. He's pretty good at these short tracks. We'll see if he can make something happen tonight.
Yeah, he was on the pole last night, right? And unfortunately, it didn't last too long, but he did start on the pole.
Yeah, but see if his luck can change tonight. Maybe I'll keep her going the correct direction.
Well, he's got a good start spot, starting P4, so can't count him out.
Nope, just got to keep that car under him tonight and see if he can get those laps in and be there at the end. We've seen that week in and week out, Trey. That's the biggest factor. Just got to be there at the end of these races.
Well, boys, I can run down here and grab old Race Clark and we see what he has to say about a bubble driver here tonight.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a few words to say.
Hoping for a good finish, that's for sure. And here he is. We got Race Clark, driver the number 22 for Eisentech Enterprises. Race, you are 2 points ahead of the bubble. And what do you think are going to be the keys to the race here tonight for you to be able to make that gap larger and keep Mike Stevens behind you?
I think the biggest thing is to stay out of trouble. I feel like I've done a real good job of finding that. Last week at Darlington, I found it. I'm kind of upset I'm in this position. I feel like I've had a bad season. I feel like I really regressed this season. But last season I kind of fell face first in the playoffs, and I was 2 points out of the top three. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Race, you got a good starting spot there. 7th, not bad at all. You're pretty much away from the thick of it. You got a lot of good drivers around you and in front of you. Do you think you're going to be able to improve that when the race is on under race conditions? See if you can get into the top 5, maybe even try to steal a win here tonight?
Yeah, maybe. I'm a really bad qualifier. So normally whenever the race comes, we have a decent long run, I can get going. So yeah, normally if I can qualify in the top 10 or something, I know I can improve on it just because I'm not that great of a qualifier.
And my last question for you, do you like this track?
Yeah,
I know this is kind of a track for some people that they hate coming to, and other people they love it. What do you think about her?
Yeah, I really enjoy Richmond. I'm really excited that this gets to be the cutoff race because it's a track that I enjoy. I don't like Darlington. I was having a real hard time last week. If you didn't notice, I was falling to the field.
All right, Race. Well, we wish you the best of luck here tonight, and see if we can talk to you again tonight. Maybe finishing top step of the podium.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
All right, I'll put him in the correct place, and I'll grab our other bubble driver, Mike Stevens. We'll see what he has to say about the events of tonight. Here he is. We got Mike Stevens here just before we set off to grid this place. Mike, you are now 2 points below the bubble for the cutoff of the playoffs, and you're going to be your last chance. What do you think you're going to have to do in order to beat that 22 of Race Clark?
Well, Race is a really good competitor, so it's going to be tough to get around him, but I feel like if I stay clean tonight and make it to the end, last 10 laps, we've got a shot.
And Mike, unfortunately, you qualified kind of in the middle of the pack, so that could be known to be a little bit of a trouble spot here in the Cold Hard Art Cup Series. But do you think you'll be able to improve on that quickly and try to start slicing your way up and catch up to the back of that 22?
Yeah, we're going to try our best. I'm not going to push it too hard. I don't want to force the issue, be the cause of a wreck, but we're definitely going to just keep pace, keep pushing, and see if we can get close to and or around Race by the end.
I got one more for you here. I asked Race the same set, but what do you think of this place? Richmond, some people don't like it, but what do you think about this little kind of short track?
It's a good short track. I'm fairly decent at short tracks. I enjoy them. They're a little bit more finesse than just an aggressive driving situation. It's probably one of my favorite ones that we run. So hopefully it'll pan out and I can, keep my head about myself and we can just get there.
Well, good luck tonight there, Mike, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you and you'll be one of the playoff drivers come the end of the evening.
Thanks, fellas.
Well,
They both sound pretty confident in their abilities tonight. Something that just caught my eye as well, Matt. Brooks Westfall, not in the field tonight. Got a pretty big cushion, 38 points, but not in the field at the moment. So, anything could happen there. Gonna take a miracle, but could see some shuffling of positions.
that could come into effect, Thomas. Never even noticed that.
I love how those guys gave political answers to Richmond. I know personally, I cannot get around this joint. Our producer Wendell loves it. Not sure about Trey. I don't think I've ever asked you or raced against you here. But I know Matt's also a love-hate relationship, but I've never loved it. Never gotten around it. Always had trouble and just flat out sucked here.
It's a rhythm track, kind of like Bristol.
I find
And
once
I have no rhythm.
I find once I figure out what I'm doing in turn one, I find that to be the hardest corner because me and wide arcs don't work out too well, and I kind of like to charge corners. But if I can get it right, the setup, then I should be decent shape. But we'll see how this plays out because this is a fixed setup, guys. So I don't know if that's going to be treacherous come later on in the run or everything will be clean and green.
Guess it depends if we see any rubber laid down or not.
I don't know, Matt. We saw you at the Tim Hortons with that wide arc.
I took the speaker from the drive-thru right down.
Oh boy.
Looking through the field here, though, but Jeffrey Acree, Rusty Webb, Matt Hackathorn, Chad Brown, Richard Hines all are contenders because they've made most of the races, but they need a win, I think, all those fellas.
Yeah, it's going to take a win from a lot of these guys, but, we've seen stranger things happen, or if you don't get in the playoffs, you would just want to build that momentum and have a solid run like we saw Joey Logano do as he missed Denny Hamlin trying to kill Martin Truex. Got a solid P2 in the Real Cup race, so, if you miss it, you still want solid momentum because you've still got a few weeks left here to try and turn your season around and get ready for next year.
And again, I just misspoke. The second night in a row, Richard Hines is in the playoffs as of now, I do believe.
Yeah, what were you smoking?
You don't want to know?
He's got a good solid 51-point cushion.
Yeah.
So
Corey Lindsay also locked into the chase. Kevin Finn's got a win. A lot of people locked in already. It's really the battle between Race and Mike Stevens. That's going to be pretty much the only battle unless, like I said before, somebody else wins and steals the show from those guys.
Yeah, you don't want to steal the thunder of somebody winning, but if you look strictly at points and performance this year, There's a reason these two are where they're at, and there's a reason they're within 2 points of each other. I think they've all had like within one top 10 of each other, within one top 5 of each other. They've both led very little laps, so there's a reason they're right there. So if you just kind of do that, follow the trends, Race Clark should get in the chase. Or sorry, playoffs.
And just before we start the grid story, Trey reminded me, between the start of lap 9 and the end of lap 11, we'll be doing it silently, and you can listen to the cars go around in memorial for the 16th anniversary of 9/11.
All right, let's roll them off with this grid, boys. Starting on the pole for Isentech Enterprises, looking to sweep the weekend here. We got Cameron Rich, and to his outside, Kevin the Flying Finn, gonna roll off P2.
On the inside of row number 2, we have the 90, Corey Lindsay. On the outside of him, somebody who needs a win, wants a win, I know. The 48, Nathan Velez.
And rolling off P5 in that number 18 machine, Paul Ross to his outside. Showed a lot of speed last night in the B car. Sam Close started 6th.
Rolling off P7, we talked to him in the pre-race there, looking to get into this playoff system. And to his outside, Richard Hines, who's already locked in, but looking to rack up some more points here.
Start behind them, row 5, we have the 38, Cody Wright. Outside of him, 83 of Johnny Thomas.
Starting P11, the number 89 of Brent Miller. To his outside, another bubble driver got a chance to make the playoffs, the 63 of Mike Stevens.
Rolling off P13, Chad Brown, who had a solid run last night, even after getting caught up in a few wrecks there, Matt. And to his outside, Luis Salmosa, looking to also show a strong run as he's missed a few races this season.
Starting out back of them with the 12, Matt Hackathorn is outside, the 88, Rusty Webb.
And rounding out the field, you got Jordan Till, 17, Jeffrey Acree, 18, and Levi Zielinski, Tailgun Charlie tonight.
May not be the worst place to start, Trey.
Yeah, may not be. But we'll see how he does. He came in late, didn't get a practice lap, didn't get a qualifying lap in, and we'll see how he does.
At least he's smart about that. I like it. If you don't get a practice lap in, it's always best to try and start back there and fill the car out and just bomb it in there, get a good Q lap, and go, oops, this didn't stick.
Yeah.
All right, looks like Bert's going to head down to pit lane this lap and hand it over to Cameron Rich and get us fired off here for the last race of the regular season. Green is out, and we are good to go.
It's clean start so far. Big jump by Cameron Rich. 90 of Corey Lindsay was able to fall in through to take second away from Kevin Finn.
That was a good read by that 90.
Yes, sir.
So far, so clean. The 48 having a little bit of trouble there. Got shuffled back a few spots. Seems like kind of like last time we saw, boys, that outside groove takes a couple laps to get going. Then you can kind of make a move if you really pinch the guy.
Yeah, Race Clark's going to take that position away from the 48, and Cody Wright's going to follow him right through there.
We talk about heartbreak. How about Cody Wright last week at Darlington? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He was sitting in a prime position, and then all of a sudden just wiped out of the race. 48 still struggling to get that car turned in the center.
Ooh, he almost knocked down the wall there, too. That was a little bit tight for this close, this early in the evening.
That's one thing I've always struggled with here, as I mentioned at Richmond. It's easy to maybe get that hot lap, Matt, but the rhythm, like Trey talked about, lap after lap is what's, I don't know, I just can never seem to find that. It always seems like you either are too slow going in or you'll just cook the entry and push up.
Yeah, it's definitely an unforgiving racetrack from my past experiences with it. It's not like Darlington, but it doesn't give you any kind of leeway like Darlington does.
Surface is getting pretty old, too.
A battle for position here. The 38 and the 22 Race Clark. Cody's just trying to get underneath the 22, which he should be able to here on the exit of turn 2.
We saw that in this Calamity Corner last night. Looks a little bit more stable tonight in these Cup cars, which is words I thought I'd never say. Johnny Thomas trying to work his way up, Trey. We kind of saw him practice. He was quick, but Like we saw last night, it's pretty easy to choke and qualify and get yourself back in the field.
Yeah, he got his work cut out for him. He started, what, P10, somewhere around there. Made his way up to P7, so he's trying to pick his way through.
Race is under fire again now from 48, Nathan Velez, and right behind him we have the 87 of Richard Hines. They're quite close into battle here right now as we're going radio silent as Vince Cameron takes stripe this time by.
All right, that commemorates 16th anniversary of 9/11. Awesome graphic, Thomas. Great job on that.
Thank you to the wonderful
Thoughts with
world
the
of
family,
Google.
first responders, military, everybody involved back then and today. So far, so good, guys. 13 laps in the books. We're kind of stringing out. Might have us a race here tonight.
Speaking of race, race car getting back underneath Richard Hines there, and he's maybe finding his pace. Got Nathan Velez underneath Cody Wright, trying to pick him off too. Maybe set his sights on Johnny Thomas, his BFF. Actually looks like he's gonna make a move into turn one.
Yeah, Mike Stevens is not progressing to the field. Of course, he said in his interview he's going to take it easy. He started 12th and just did make it by, I believe, Richard Hines from P11 there. So he's trying to creep in there.
And he's got that fast four behind him as well. Trying to might have to let him through and see if he can open some doors for him.
Just caught that in the corner of my eye there, guys. Levi Zielinski and Rusty Webb almost had a little bit of a moment going into turn one, but
That's a
themselves
gaggle
out a little
back
bit.
there, Matt.
Yeah, that's
The 12, 64, 88, that's all hot little mess back there.
definitely not something Mike Stevens wants to be a part of, so he's going to try to stay at the front of this gaggle as opposed to falling. Ooh, as I say that,
man.
almost into the wall. I can't talk about him, apparently.
Good thing you backed down on that one.
Yeah, going to lose 3 spots. Maybe 4s. Looks like Chad Brown's underneath.
Might cut him a break here. No, he's not. Try to put it in there, maybe.
Oh, there's
Mike
no
clears
breaks
you, no?
given here.
No, they need wins here, and ooh, Mike's out of shape again.
Just gotta settle down, get back in your rhythm, see if the car will come back to you. You know, it's real easy to overheat one of these tires on the NASCAR platform. So we'll see if we can get her settled back in there and hopefully not have overcooked the right rear. Or right front, depending on what he was doing.
Yeah. And I'm noticing a little bit here now, guys, that there is a little bit of rubber getting taken down onto this racetrack.
Yeah, with enough green flag laps and probably the fact it's a cup car as well. It's pushing a little groove out. Maybe we'll see something move up here. Don't see the Highline really hoping anyone yet, but you know, you get maybe halfway into a field run, it might open up for you, especially once you get later in the race.
Yeah, Mike Stevens' troubles continue as he's under fire by Rusty Webb. Rusty Webb makes that move, put Rusty up to 15th. Mike Stevens back to 16th. He just lost that spot to Levi. So Mike Stevens back to 17th, not the way he wants to go.
Car really struggling for him there, Trey. You can tell out of turn 2.
Almost looks like he might be overdriving it just a little bit.
Just a touch, as we saw Nathan Velez get around Johnny Thomas there. So that moves him up to P6.
There's another gaggle forming here. Race, Claire, Cody Wright, and Luis Salmaso. Seems to be right around our bubble drivers, guys.
Or would you have it any other way? You know, that's where the drama's going to be all night. Doesn't matter if it's for 15th or for the lead. That's if they're playoff drivers in it, they're going to be in the mess.
That are doubting. I thought Ray sailed that into turn one pretty heavily with Cody Wright to his door, but made the pass and made it look easy too.
I think the advantage is definitely on Race. He's got the 2-point lead. He's in front of Mike Stevens. He's got no reason to race these guys. I'm sure he's got a guy that's got an eye on where Mike's at, and I'm sure he's well, I hope that he's playing his cards.
We can only hope.
Ooh, Paul Ross, a little bit loose up there at the front, battling Corey Lindsay. Teammates there, and Sam Close also involved in that gaggle as well.
That was
Could
almost
be
a
disasters for 3 OG.
Yeah, that was almost a 3 OG DNF there.
Like Sam's gonna gain 2 spots here as he passes the 90, then the 18.
We know Sam's good in the long run, and he was really good at Iowa, if memory serves me correct. And this is a sister track to Iowa, so a little bit smoother. And by a little bit, I mean a lot.
These 2 cats at the front, though, Kevin Finn and Cameron Rich, they're knocking down the exact same lap times, almost the 1,000th each lap.
I mean, he was a whopping 4,000ths of a lap slower, so. Actually, Sam Close matching the leader that time, so look out, could be a 3-way here for the lead. Actually, looking back through the field there, Matt, 48's still one of the quicker cars on track. So I'm sure he'd love to, I know we don't want to see a caution, but I'm sure he'd love to see a caution to get caught up and make up all this track position he's mowed through tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And Mike Stevens right now, bubble driver, back in 17th position. He's going to definitely have to, if we do get a caution night, Thomas try pick that up and try to get his pace a little bit quicker and see if he can keep the tires on it too, because I think a couple times when he slid there, it might have made his tires a little bit angry at him.
He's got to be careful. He's not too much from going a lap down. So if this thing, you know, the worst enemy is green flag laps for Mike Stevens right now.
Yeah, he was a good solid, what was that?
Jordan Teal in the 77 creamed the wall there, sorry guys.
Half as hard. Ooh, yes he did. Pancake the right side of that one. He's a good 0.4 of a second slower than Cameron Rich last lap. Mike Stevens was, so definitely probably lost the tires on that car already. A couple overdrives is all it really takes, Trey. We know in these, well, basically in all the NASCAR stuff, you mess with the tires too much and you basically have to wait for a pit stop.
Yeah. We'll give a shout out to Matt Hackathon for actually putting the number in the right place.
He was like, "You're gonna see me this week, boys."
We saw Masso has Race Clark under fire right now for the 8th position, sorry. You know, the front stretch, he's been kind of battling there right close to his back bumpers. See if he can do something on the high side here, maybe.
Trying that old late arc, is what it looks like, trying to get those runs off the corner. Pretty smart move to conserve tires at this point too. You're not really grinding on them, trying to hold that bottom line through 1 and 2.
And as you just spoke about in there, Matt Hackathorn looking to join into that battle. He's not very far back from either of those fellas in front of him.
I believe that was... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like that 4 car is just kind of backing up entry a little bit, getting the big run off exit on Race, but he just can't quite get that run enough to get him on corner entry.
Yeah, and it looks like he needs just a little slip between the two to maybe get a little more drive off on him and make the pass. Unless he's going to try and sail it on the outside one time.
If the rubber does get laid down, it might actually be
Definitely
beneficial to go to the high side at some point.
Yeah, I think definitely the 22 is kind of holding up the 4 a little bit. But hey, he's racing for a playoff spot, so, you know, I don't blame him.
Yeah. Oh, caution now.
Caution. The 89, Brent Miller, looks like he's around in the backstretch. See if there's any help. Oh, Chad Brown got to the left rear quarter panel a little bit. No harm, no foul, though, because it was just a lazy little spin.
Yep, no damage. Definitely, definitely not something we wanted to see, though. Only 18 points to the good, so definitely wants to keep that car in one piece tonight. Doesn't have to have a stellar run, just doesn't need to DNF.
I must say that's a nice paint scheme.
That's definitely a big break for Mike Stevens. He's very close to going a lap down, so he was happy to see that caution.
Oh yeah, both Mike Stevens and Jeffrey agree. Happy to see that one. You are right though, man. That is a pretty car the 89's got tonight. I believe the 30G cars are all running 911 inspired paint schemes, are they not?
Yeah, I saw Paul Ross. Wasn't ever really saw the other lads.
Yeah, they are. They're all running but they did it #America schemes. So.
Ah,
So everybody coming down pit road.
Shocker.
I would expect everybody to take 4 tires here.
Oh, we have Mr. Short in chat saying this setup looks much better than last night. Yeah, definitely. Looks a lot more stable.
When was the time we already had 4 cautions? Probably 6.
Lap 38 last night. Was it 3 laps per caution?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Give or take.
Did Jordan Teal stay out?
lucky
Dog.
Oh, okay.
He was just lapped,
Okay.
but I think he was so far behind, or the short track thing where he's trying to get around into pit lane while they're coming out. Short track problems, you know. Well, that was a typical opening stint there from the Cup race. Because you kind of got to fill out your car, maybe half a fuel run there. See what you got.
Sam Close did not have a good pit stop there by the looks of this. Unless I'm mistaken, but I believe he came in the 4th spot.
I'm speeding. Yeah, that's would
okay.
be my guess. He's dropping to the rear of the field.
At least he made the mistake now and not later on in the race, because it can still be mended now, I suppose.
Yeah, he had pretty good speed. He was maybe the second or third quickest car on track behind Cameron and Nathan, but long way to go, like you said. In case we didn't mention, it is 200 laps tonight. Exciting entertainment.
Woo!
Here at Richmond Raceway now.
I wish we had the old school walls on this place, but they'll probably never come.
Oh god, imagine the seizures that would cause.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty heinous.
Some FPS drop of those walls. Oh boy. I didn't know they were going to paint Richmond like that this year. I didn't get that memo. Do your job, J-Ski. God.
Unfortunately, that's gone out the window also. ESPN.
Might as well get my articles from motorsports.com.
Or pretend race cars.
Slightly different top 5 this time, fellas. Cameron Rich, Kevin Finn, Paul Ross, Corey Lindsay, and Nathan Velez. After that round of pit stops.
I love it when I share links on Facebook and they don't share the actual name of the link and it just shares youtube.com. Awesome. Thanks, Facebook. You're the best. Alright, Bert's gonna head her back down to pit lane here. Hand it back over to Cameron and he's gone.
Wasted no time.
Kevin Finn almost looked like he kind of misjudged that and turned off the wall a little bit. These top 2 were pretty much unchallenged for the most part of that run.
Oh, got a big checkup back there Race Clark Lewis some also, and I think it was Johnny Thomas almost caused a little bit of calamity there in what was Calamity Corner last night.
Gonna cost. Oh, not too bad. I'm just gonna shuffle the order a little bit. Got Race Clark behind the 4 in the 97 now. Cody Wright on his back bumper. See if we can get Mike Stevens to save those tires a little bit this run, really, so we can keep the car underneath him.
Well, you can see the 22 now, so that's definitely comforting for him. Especially as Trey mentioned, he was very much in danger of going a lap down there that last stint. Oh, Cody Wright jammed underneath him, and Race got way up out of the groove. He's going to be losing a whole host of spots.
Mike Stevens looking to take advantage of that.
That was a little late move by the 38 there. Must have scared the 22 a little bit.
Might be able to clear him, though.
Quite get it done, can he?
But at least you can see the guy you're racing now and know that you only have to finish 2 spots. Ooh, as he touches the wall!
Man, that was close with him and a Cree. And the wall.
Good drive.
Calm down, calm down.
That's what he needs. We need to be his crew chief, Trey. He's got to take it easy, man. Take it easy. Long way to go.
I tell him to back his corners up.
Yeah, maybe back the entry up and roll that center a little, like a little bit, a lot more. But that is so much easier to say up here than it is when you're in the car.
Very true.
If I could just get in there a little bit more.
Especially when the guy you're racing for a playoff spot's right in front of you.
It's the little carrot hanging in front of you.
Up here in the top 5, there's been absolutely no change for position once we went back to green there.
No, they've kind of broken away from Johnny Thomas as he's got Hackathorn and, well, the rest of the field behind him. Kind of a little train of cars here.
That's the Hornet's Nest right there.
It's minding their P's and Q's. Still in the single file line, but probably just sizing up the opponent in front of them. It looks like Mike Stevens going to give us a spot. Oh, no, got a better run on the outside there. Still side by side with Chad Brown. Actually drove back around him on the outside. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was a nice drive there. Ooh, he gets a little bit tight though. That's what I've been noticing out of turn 2 from him at least. He's been kind of pushing up towards the wall. I think it's kind of going hand to hand with what you guys said earlier about rolling your center and then a little bit easier on your throttle maybe.
And they get Sam Close behind these two, trying to work his way back through the field, trying to. Mike Stevens a little
big
loose
wiggle, big wiggle. That's that. That's that push loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jinx, you want to make up?
Pepsi already?
No. You're fired.
Gin and tonic.
That'll
take
work. Pepsi. Sam Close does clear Chad Brown there. Well, I mean, it is bottled in my state, so. Kevin Finn appears to be sticking with Cameron Rich this time. Not faster, but just keeping him in the same zip code at least.
I'd actually be nervous with that 48. He saved his tires up there that last run. He was just unfortunately too far away to get it done. But he might be able to start picking off a couple of positions here and find himself into the playoffs tonight if he can keep that car pointed in the right direction and clean.
Yeah, he's going to have to win, but we see it every week. He's one of the faster cars on the long run if he can keep the car in one piece, so definitely wouldn't count him out. And he won at IRP, so in the B car, so I'm sure his short track knowledge is pretty up to par.
Mike Stevens just lost another spot to Jeffrey Acree, so Mike Stevens falling back to 17th.
I honestly think his biggest problem is turn 2, just watching his lap. It seems fairly decent throughout the rest of the lap, but turn 2 just, he's having to get back out of the gas because he's pushing so hard.
Well, guys, that last lap by, Paul Ross is the first quickest, and Nathan Blez was the second quickest on the track.
The first quickest.
Yep.
So what are you trying to say, Matt?
They're coming.
Looks like Corey Lindsey's trying to drift up the track there a little bit and see if he can pick up any speed. Not really seeing that on the stopwatch yet. We're about the same lap time. It's pretty... I don't know if you guys have ever ran a race where the track actually worked. We ran a one... I don't know if our producer was there or not. I think you weren't. It was a Charlotte race one time. And we actually ran the high side at Charlotte, which was pretty cool from top to bottom. So you know when it comes into play, because about halfway through the run, you'll be able to move up and actually gain time.
You just need some guys to go up there and try it before
Well,
I
it's
venture up there.
It was one of those things where I went up high because I was getting passed and actually pulled away from the guy who was trying to pass me. So you're like, oh, let's try this again. I missed that. It only happened one time. I don't know what happened after that. I guess it was broken. But one hit wonder.
Comes in spurts, yeah.
Got Velez around Corey Lindsey there. Gonna move him up to P4. I was gonna mention Paul Ross just reeling in Kevin Finn there, who still hasn't really fallen too far behind Cameron Rich this run. Maybe Cameron's saving a little tire, boys.
And Paul Ross is right there in that battle too, so this is going to get real hot.
Looks like they're coming up to lap Jordan Teal again.
And 17 will have no trouble getting by the 77, as that's another Eisentech machine.
Yeah, Jordan Teal usually not a problem for anyone to get around. He pretty smart lap car there, gets out of the way most of the time.
Cameron did a little bit of a higher entry there in turn one than I've seen him do in previous laps. Maybe he is trying to save the tires.
Yeah, or could just be playing with the field a little bit. He knows what he has. It's time where you need to learn something about your car to make sure you can. If you need to move up more, you can. As we saw last night a couple times when they moved up, it wasn't too pretty. So I'm sure they want to test the waters before they go up there and just try and run full out, full tilt, I guess we should say.
Sam Close in the 5 car, still trying to work his way up through the field, passing the 88 Rusty Webb, or working on him to pass rather. Down here into turn 1, he should be able to get up alongside of him.
Yeah, it looks like Webb's leaving that bottom open, so it's going to allow that 5 to try to roll right by. Probably get him this time through 3 and 4.
Update here on your bubble drivers. 22, Race Clark, 13th position. 63, Mike Stevens, 17th. And he's getting
struggling.
close to being lapped again. I guess not as close as he was last time, but it's getting there.
He's about 2/10 slower that lap than our leader, so it doesn't take long on a track where you're running 21-second laps to get lapped. I would say they need to come in and make some changes, but it's a fixed setup, so nothing you can really do but pat. I think just back the corner up. That's about it.
Nice battle for top 3 right now. Paul Ross working on the 14. Kevin Finn, see if we can take that spot away from him.
Yeah, Paul's had a couple rough weeks as well. I believe he blew up at Darlington. Looking to see if he can turn the season around here before we get into the playoffs. We know he, what was that, a win in Atlanta with actually racing the guy right in front of him, Kevin Finn. So he was good on the 1.5 miles, and we got a couple of those in the playoffs. So I'm sure he's looking forward to that.
I think he's looking forward to this one. He's got a stout machine. He's
So
kinda
far,
run these,
yeah.
he's run these guys down. I think
He's
if
gonna
he can
make sure he doesn't short pitch, right?
Yeah, right. If he can get past Kevin Finn, he might put a little pressure on Cameron Rich up there for the lead.
Yeah, all these top 4 guys are all within 1/10 of each other, so it's pretty close. Like I said, though, we got to get around that 14, and he might have something for that 17. It's the battle of the teens up here. Well, Mike Stevens did get back around Jeffrey Creedy. Still got a long way to go.
Kevin Finn washes up high. Paul Ross looking low. But Kevin was able to get that run off forward and carry it down into turn 1.
Looks like he's trying to do that wide arc in 1 like we've seen from a couple other guys tonight.
Matt Hackathorn back here in 9th position working on the 83, trying to get 8th from him, but Sam Close in that 5 is all over their back bumpers. Oh, contact a little bit
bump there.
That's
hey, bro, I'm quicker. Move, please.
Yeah.
I think the rush is on there. Like I said, Matt, Sam Close is like, hey, you guys just like settle this or let me go, please.
Yeah, he wants to get back up there, the rest of his teammates, and run well. And Matt Hackathorn washes way up and make easy work there for Sam Close.
2 for 1
gonna
here.
Get 2, yeah. Put him up to the 8th spot.
Might cost Johnny Thomas a spot as well.
Back on side by side here, going back into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let him go. We've seen that past couple weeks, really, from Johnny Thomas. Trey, I think you pointed out a couple weeks ago. He kind of he'll let the guy go, and then he can reel him back in. He kind of hopes that that returns the favor for him. Though you don't see that much anymore in real life because the Mark Martin strategy usually doesn't work out too well for you.
Nice shit used up and spit out and thrown away.
So we got Paul Ross. Kevin's trying to cut back at him, but can't quite get the power down. So see if Paul Ross can set his sights on Cameron Ridge there. As not too far up the road is one of our playoff bubble drivers there, Matt. Got Mike Stevens and Brett Miller's right behind him.
Just had to put some coal back in that furnace there and get moving, I think.
I think he's let his mountains get too blue on his car. He better get those things shined up in silver. I was out of puns. I didn't really have anything else to go with course.
That was close. I'll say it was decent.
Mixing their different brands of beer. But
Yeah.
that's all water. Who cares?
Very true.
Right.
I mean, if you drink Coors Light, I'm not gonna say you should change beers, but probably not drink that
You
anymore.
should change beers.
Yeah.
You should change the group you're in because clearly you're in a supportive group. Probably like our intern.
Nah, he seems more like a natty light kind of guy.
No, he's like an Appletini kind of guy.
That's what I was gonna say. I was thinking
yeah,
of martinis
yeah.
or something there, yeah. But we have Nathan Velez in the 48, starting to reel in Kevin Finn and Paul Ross. He's actually running some pretty stout lap times, but the only problem is he fell so far behind. It's a mountain to catch back up. Jordan Steele's dead in the water.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of the way there. You say that, he's not that far behind. He's only 2.2 seconds, and he was about 0.2 quicker than Kevin Finn last lap.
But the thing is, Thomas, I don't know what the window is for pit stops, but I'm assuming it's around lap 60.
Probably. I didn't do a test run this week. Dang, Chuck, you need power back to tell us.
I know, right?
Just jumping in the car there, fellas. 75 is what you can run just at idle speed, so it's probably in between 55 and 60.
Yeah, and honestly, the tires don't seem to be a factor. The lap times haven't suffered that much, so you're probably going to run it till the tank's dry. So
Yeah.
unless you already are putting the laps together in your head and planning the strategy for it. But you don't want to pit too early at a short track because you lose multiple laps and all that happy strategy stuff.
And Mike Stevens lapped down now by Kevin Finney and Nathan Velez, so he's just hoping that Brent Miller does not. Oh, as I say that, he's already a lap down. Rich passed him
it's
last time
mowing
by.
him down. Looks like he's lapping a Cree as well, but
Yeah,
Miller's
Cree.
going to try and get by him so he can keep that lucky dog.
They're battling right in front of second place. Paul Ross, who's sitting there. Come on, guys, figure it out.
I mean, they're
go
doing
3
nothing
wide.
wrong. Yeah, Brett Miller's going to let him go here.
Yeah, it's a classy move there because they were battling for a position. And a lucky
I mean, it's
dog
a race
position
within
at
a
that.
race. You know?
Yeah. As his lap time has kind of cammed off a little bit there. He's running 7s now to Cameron's 7s, so
Yeah, he
he
kind
might
of,
have
he really,
used them.
48 really drove up to the back of the 14, but kind of backed off here a little bit. I don't know if he saw the battle in front of him or maybe got a little arrow push in the car. This is a pretty fast short track, so you do get a little arrow dependency on that front end. As sad as that is. Hashtag no splitter.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
Jeffrey Cree's up the
Cree.
hill.
Starting the fireworks show a little early. Brett Miller should be able to take advantage of that.
And Brent Miller could have caused a huge situation there if he didn't read that correctly, which he did. So it's allowed Velez and Brent Miller both to get through there unscathed. Cameron Rich has his sights on the 64 to put a lap down right now too, and Paul Ross sitting behind there and hope he doesn't see what he just saw again tonight.
Problem with that is the more he laps, the harder it's going to be for Mike Stevens. He's already the 3rd car lap down, so
Yeah.
definitely not looking good tonight for Mike Stevens.
Went back to green on lap 42.
Ooh, big trouble there for the 17. Lost a lot of time out of 4. Could possibly lose the lead here.
He caught the wall, I think, on the front straight. Front bend, I guess.
Yeah, that right front fender's got a little cave-in on it, so that's going to cost him the lead.
First time tonight.
New leader, 18.
That's going to bring Velez and Kevin Finn probably right up into the thick of this battle, because, no, not too crazily, but they're still up there further than they were.
It's hard to believe after all Cameron did last night driving that car. And it looked like he was on cruise control tonight and just smacked that wall a little bit.
Fortunately enough for him, it shouldn't be.
Oh, wow. That was close to win Chad Brown. That was playing with the laws of netcode there.
I don't think Chad knew that Paul Ross was underneath him.
Saw
It looked
some
like he was setting up for that corner.
chatter there. Did the 4 pit, or was that just a commandy hit? Must have just been a commandy hit.
Chad Brown's now. First car 1 lap down.
Got a little ways till they get to the next one. That'd be Richard Hines would be the next car they put a lap down in 14th, but probably gonna have a cycle of pit stops before we get to that point.
We should be getting close. We've already run what 55 laps this stint so far.
And still, these guys up front are the 21.6s, so this tire, one of the better short track tires we've seen on iRacing in a while. Doesn't have a whole lot of fall off in it.
I'll just make this. You can actually pull some strategy with this too, guys. 'Cause that's not a very dramatic fall off. Maybe somebody could try some 2-tire fire instead of 4 freshies.
I mean, it's got the normal, what you'd expect fall off, but it's also looks like the tire's still pretty consistent. It's not just dying on you where you're,
Yeah.
pushing or spinning out. So I think it's really helping guys like Velez make up time on Kevin Finn.
Well, that's still putting down some pretty nice lap times there. It's almost parallel to 10th off, unfortunately, of our leader Paul Ross, but he's right there in the back bumper that 14.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a way by. Just can't seem to get the corner exit he needs to get by the 14.
And they're probably hoping that they can stay out and get that extra playoff point for halfway, because we are only 3 laps away from halfway right now.
We ain't talked about it much, but the guy that came in with no practice laps started dead last in the field, 19th. He's already made his way up to 5th with just 1 caution to help him out. So Levi doing very well in that 97 machine.
Holding a
Yes.
pretty wheel tonight.
Hey, it creeped right in there.
I don't believe they're going to have anything for Power Ross, Matt. I believe he's going to get that playoff point, which is he's in desperate need of, as he only has 1 playoff point so far.
It's going to help him a lot. Oh, Ace Clark scrubs the wall just a little bit there, but he's still 12th position, and Mike Stevens, as we mentioned before, 17th and 1 lap down. So Race just got to keep her on track and point it right. Should be all right, unless we get quite a few cautions here.
Yeah, clean and green for the most part so far. Just 1 little incident, so see if we can keep that going.
Pit road started there. Chad Brown and Jeffrey Acree coming down for service.
Yeah, I thought we might see some of the lap guys pit earlier, just kind of get that advantage, you know, the old once you get lap, come in and pit and get the fresh tires and then lap yourself. But I guess they want to make sure they got to a window and they can make it.
I think the window for Paul Ross, Cameron Rich, and all the leaders there is pretty much open right about now.
We got Cody Wright, Rusty Webb on pit lane.
That's right around 60 laps.
Oh, is the leader on pit lane?
No, he's still on track there. Grace Clark made it down pit lane there. Coming down.
Yeah, he's coming down now. This is an easy pit lane to speed on as well, so you definitely do not want to speed.
Yeah. Rusty Webb off and away.
Johnny Thomas down on pit lane, got a little right side damage on that car.
Mike Stevens, one of the bubble drivers, also 1 lap down, coming down. Matt Hackathorn missed it, and he's hit a hack on it there a little bit.
It's not hard to do, especially because you cannot see the pit entry until you're basically into the center of 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Nathan Velez is right on the back bumper, the 14. Looks like he's gonna try to make a move up here off turn number 2. Matt Hackathorn made her down pit lane this time after a little bit of a miscue.
If I was the 48, I might try and undercut the 14 here with pitting.
I'd come in now, yeah, Thomas, you're correct on that.
It's a little road strategy, but I mean, the undercut always usually works.
Richard Hines is up out of the way there right now. He, I believe, did not come down for service yet, did he?
No, not yet. I believe 17 is coming to pit lane.
So that's gonna tell these 2 guys here, Kevin Finn and Velez almost got in the back from there, but good driving to avoid it.
Got Hackathorn down and away off pit lane. I'm sure it's going to cost him quite a few positions by missing it that first time through.
Well, Hamlin can miss it and win, so maybe Hackathorn will have the same fate here in Virginia.
Well, I'm sure Hackathorn's car is not cheating, so. Twice. In the same weekend.
Yeah, something must have broke there, I don't know.
Oh, we got the measurements off? Yeah, you sure did.
Some would say they're right on, because he stole 2 victories.
It's okay, though, because you still get to keep the trophy. You just take away any other part of it.
Yeah, it's BS. Johnny Thomas trying to unlap himself here. He's going to be passing Nathan Velez on these freshies. Richard Hines calling himself in now this time.
If you're these other guys, I'm not sure why you haven't pitted, because you're losing. I know the tire doesn't fall off a lot, but you're losing enough to Paul Ross and Cameron Rich here. You're down in the 22 flats now.
I don't think Paul Ross has pitted yet, did he, Tony?
No, he hasn't.
No, okay. Well,
So
you're losing a lot of time to Cameron Rich then.
That's what I mean. Cameron's gonna. Oh, Kevin Finn's gonna be coming down this time, and Nathan Velez.
Yeah, if I'm Paul Ross, I'm staying out until I have to pit.
I mean, that's backwards from what he normally does.
Oh, it's very true. Maybe he's learned his lesson.
I think he's overcompensating, though. He's done the Corey Bunch approach. He's staying out till you lose like 15 seconds and then come in and pit. And then wonder what went wrong.
Oh, Kevin Finn might be dangerously close to speeding here. To watch that.
He should be alright. We'll find out, I guess, when they drop the jack, won't we?
He got on the binders pretty good there, so he should be able to be tight.
Yeah,
he's good,
fine.
yeah.
And Velez does not beat him off pit lane. So the battle continues. 14 actually got a good launch out of the pit stall there.
Marcos Ambrose style.
Nothing will ever beat Marcus Ambrose leaving the pit box at Richmond that time.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if Paul Ross may be trying to stretch it so this is his last pit stop.
It's a long way.
Well, we went back green on what, lap 41?
Yes, I believe so, Trey.
Yeah.
So he's been out there, what, 40, 50, 63 laps?
Still
Math
gonna
is
have to do
hard.
more than that though.
Well, true.
It's a 200 lap race. You're gonna have to get. I don't see how you could do it. There's no way. But that's why we're up here.
It's like Jeffrey Crea's taking his car behind the wall.
Johnny Thomas on the apron. Saved it though. Have any of the 3OG cars pitted?
Negative. Paul Ross
So the-
still out, Corey Lindsay and Sam Close.
When they do a strategy, they do it together.
Oh, Sam Close
So
hit the
weird.
wall there too. I think his tires are starting to ask for help.
I mean, you're kind of in that danger zone because everyone else is running faster and can pretty much run you over.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at these times. He's not running that much slower than anybody else.
Cameron ran a 21.2 last lap.
Yeah, but Cameron's way back there. Where? 6th?
Yeah, but where's he on track? Paul Ross is in 3 and 4. There's Cameron going into 3.
Going into
So
three, yeah.
about a full corner width behind.
It's like Luis is going to bring it down pit road.
I mean, I'm with you, Trey. That's obviously what they're trying to do is stretch it, because otherwise you would have pitted by now. I just think
Maybe
that's
they're-
a long way.
Trying to do it on one stop.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't. You wouldn't need 2.
I must have been off my fuel calculations. Or Lindsay and Levi Zielinski make their way down to pit road there. They'll surrender the second and third positions.
I think Paul Ross is coming down this time. I think those tires are finally giving up.
Yeah, and the team is coming down. He's spun.
Oh, and he
Oh,
hit the
man.
inside wall.
I pulled the Fredericks.
If we could just photoshopped an ambulance in there.
Right?
That's what it was. Dang, safety crew.
Out of gas, maybe.
I
He's
think
only
he
going
might be out of
18
gas,
down
yeah.
pit road.
Heartbreak
Oh,
there.
You got to fight a couple of times there. But
Like bumping it over to get it down pit lane. I don't think he's going to make it, boys.
clutcher, buddy, clutcher.
Wow, he's
That's
losing
devastating.
so much
Yeah.
time on pit lane. It's pretty much race over for him.
Yep.
He's just well through the last 2 pit stalls, 5 miles.
Maybe.
Come on,
Maybe.
come on. If you get
He
close
made
enough,
it.
you can
He's
get it no
there.
matter what. That was probably, what, 30, 40 seconds?
Yeah, he's done.
Wow. And
He's going to lose probably 2 laps.
At least, yeah, that's just devastating.
he's in and out already. Let's see how bad that's going to be.
But it's not going to matter for him. He has the freshest tires right now.
That's not going to matter.
Yeah.
But the 90, Corey Lindsay, and the 5, Sam Close, no, it's been a lap. But Corey Lindsay's still on the lead lap, so you might be able to do something here.
So those tires for Cameron Rich have jumped him out to a 4.5 second lead over Kevin Finn. So
I'm
we'll
gonna try
see
to
if that
do-
comes down or not.
Try to do a little bit of math here for a second, guys.
Oh God.
Hang on.
Well, we know how far you can go on fuel because just check Paul Ross's laps because that was clearly a fuel run.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get an exact number. By
If
my
that's the-
math, it's
if that's the
78
case-
laps. You can make it on fuel. Corey, these guys can be close. might be just a little bit out of reach for Corey Lindsay and
He
Sam
was-
Close.
Paul Ross was like right there on making it. It's like 2 or 3 laps short.
You know, if Corey sees and knows that now, he can start clutching. And not right now, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough to do, especially there could be another caution here tonight. So it's a big variable to.
That's a tough one.
I would try it. Corey's pretty safe on points, and a win would give him some more playoff points. So I think that would be a good strategy call. But of course, that's why I'm up here and not on the box. Because you know the guys, Kevin Finn, Cameron Rich, Nathan Velez, they can't make it on fuel.
Looks like it was a rough pit stop cycle for Sam Close as well. He's a lap down. Interesting. And that, I didn't follow up on that. The missed pit lane from Hackathorn was pretty costly. He's now, well, he just got around Rusty Webb, but he was the last car in lead lap with the leader right behind him. So you gotta be on your A game tonight, boys. It's like there's some kind of playoff on the line or something.
Oh, we mentioned that. I guess we'll take a look. Mike Stevens there, running 16th place right now, 2 laps down. So he's gonna have to, it's nothing short of a miracle to come back from that race clerk. 1 lap down and inside the top 10.
He's gonna need one of those Jeff Gordon. It rained, we cut the chain in the rear of the car or something, and it somehow drove from a lap down to like 2nd place or something kind of nights.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. So. Meanwhile, the lead has not really changed much. Still 4.5 seconds. So I guess that gamble from Cameron to come in, it wasn't that much sooner than Kevin. I'm searching correct, but just enough to maybe get clear up some traffic.
I think it was 5 laps.
I think one thing that hurts Kevin as well, he's still fending off Velez, but right before they pitted.
Yeah.
And you're kind of worrying about what's behind you more than what's in front of you.
Cameron Rich, he's right now going to be 3rd seed in the playoffs. I'm not counting halfway points, so this isn't actually, this is actually completely false. But he has 2 wins right now in the Cold Hard Art Cup Series. There's few people that can tie him in wins. But
3 wide to the 3 and 4 there.
That's
It's just a little lap traffic there to get around there. Sam Close looking to get his lap back here. And easily does. Oh, I say easily. Cameron's going to try the undercut there, but get back around him. I'm not sure it's going to work. I believe Sam has a little fresher tires there.
But you can see the tires aren't incredible. He's just trying to kind of hold him off maybe a little bit and see if the rest of the field can catch up to him.
Not sure how much damage that 17 had or could get fixed as well under that pit stop. You know, he kind of hit the wall and lost the lead to Paul Ross. I'm not sure how much that's going to hurt him this run. But
Now that you mention him, we should check up on him after that devastating pit stop. He's only 1 lap down, actually, and he's running 15th position. Unfortunately, the last car, 1 lap down also.
yeah, and unfortunately, you're going to have to run a lot quicker than the guys in front of you to get that lap back, unless we have a yellow.
Yeah.
Because right now he's just kind of, he's only, what, 2/10 quicker than Cameron that lap?
Yep.
And Cameron is the next car behind him, minus the 4.
I think Kevin Finn got in a little bit of trouble there with lap traffic, guys, because he lost a lot of time to Velez that last lap.
Huh.
Lap previous to this one, of course.
Maybe a little bit with Cody, right? It looks like he gave him room, though.
Track is definitely getting darker, but nobody's really ventured too far out of the normal groove here yet.
No, which is not uncommon for Richmond. You know, it's a pretty bottom-heavy track. It's 77 pounds long. Again?
Yikes.
Yikes!
Nathan
I wish we had
Velez.
one of those kind of finishes. Yikes! It's a teammate.
Yeah.
It looks like Lindsay's definitely taking advantage of those tires by pitting later to Johnny Thomas. I'm going to try and drive underneath him here.
Yeah, it should be easily done, but he got in there real low. He's
Have
not
to
going to
set,
press the issue too much.
Richard Hines as a pick here, maybe.
Going to be 3
Oh.
wide here through 3 and 4. Needs to
Who needs
clear
a-
both of them.
Who needs a pick when you can just go 3 wide?
It is a very wide track cover, I will say, about Richmond. It's pretty wide in the corners, wide enough that you can comfortably fit 3 cars in the middle. On exit, not so much.
Yeah, it's deceivingly wide in the corners until you come out, especially at a 2. 4, you know, if you had to, you could do 3 wide. Fudge it a little bit, but 2 definitely more of a pinch factor.
Race Clark battling Rusty Webb, trying to get the 10th position away from him, and Kevin Finn is caught back up to the back end of those folks. And he's being put under pressure by Velez, who's within reaching distance right now, but he's not there yet.
Finn's going to roll the high side around these guys.
See how much time that actually cost Kevin Finn, because he looks to be pretty hooked up there. He's not going to be able to. Yes, he is.
Pretty good lap, 21.5. As Velez is kind of sandwiched behind these two.
Yeah, he's going to have to find a gap, because right now they're side by side in front of him.
Oh man, he goes around.
Caution is out.
Second one of the night. And there goes the fuel strategies.
Yeah, you can make it from here.
That really screws Paul Ross because he wasn't able to get up into that free pass position.
Oh boy, it does too, Trey.
I don't know if
hackathon,
he's... Oh, yeah, he's going to be the
Helps
lucky dog. Yeah, I don't know if Paul Ross is ever really going to be able to do that, right? Because the way they were lapping cars, it's going to be hard to keep up with that.
Yeah, we've lapped all the way to 8th. 9th.
10th, 11th. And we're coming down pit lane. Might be a good time for Cameron to get a little bit of that damage fixed. Now, if you're Paul Ross, you can take the wave around here if everyone pits.
And just hope for, yeah, I think he has to if he wants to have a chance. Just take the wave around and hope for a quick caution.
I mean, this is a NASCAR race, so.
We'll see if Nathan Velez can pull something out of the hat here in this pit stop. We're just over 50 laps to go, about 56, I believe. 57. Got it right. See if he can try to steal the lead here from the guys in front of him, because he's been right there all night, guys.
Yes, he has. He just hasn't had quite the speed to keep up with Cameron and Paul Ross, but he's been right there with Kevin. So. And we know track positions, everything, Matt. So.
Yeah, it definitely is, because these guys are all pretty clean drivers. They're not going to try to move somebody up out of the way, but at some point you might have to.
And Paul Ross is pitting, so there goes that strategy. I just won't listen to us, Trey.
Well, maybe he's just hoping that he can get these fresh tires. He's caught back up these lap cars. He can get that, get into the free pass position and hope for a caution.
I mean, that's a dangerous game to play. I always like getting my lap back and then dealing with it from then, because you know at least you're on that lap. If it goes green, okay, I didn't do it, you know, or maybe I lose the lap again. But if we get a yellow, then I know I'm back in the ball game. If it goes green either way, you're kind of screwed.
And I think he was speeding down pit road, so.
Oh man, well, he was so slow last time. He was like, "I'm getting down pit lane this time."
They should take the averages from 2 different pit stops, I think, for him, because that was just
brutal.
god awful. I was gonna say.
He might have been getting some damage fixed from that.
Yeah, that's probably the case for that wall hit.
Well, fellas, we have a really good race here tonight, to be honest.
That might be the heartbreak, one of the heartbreaks of the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm just gonna
except for
hit here when I'm leading. Oh, you just hit the wall. It's okay. No, I'm out of gas.
and anybody that's watching that doesn't drive these cars, the tank will actually tell you you have about 0.3 of a lap left when it starts to sputter. Then that's when you're in trouble, as we see with poor Paul Ross.
Even hitting the wall, I don't know if he was gonna make it down pit lane. Like, that was still gonna be sputtering.
Yeah.
It probably would have had more speed. I think when he hit it, it probably ran out of gas, and then he could not get back up to pit speed. So.
Yeah.
So we got Mika in chat. Must be going better than last night if they're this far into it, less than an hour in. Yes, this is we're working caution number 2. Coming with what 54 to go. So it's been a very clean race. Definitely a big change from last night.
Been a very Cup Series race, I'll say.
Yeah, but guys,
Yeah.
I think business is supposed to come up here now.
I don't think we're gonna see anything drastic here because everyone kind of knows what they have. So, plus there's not a Mickey in the field, so
Who's that?
I don't know. Some guy that probably is riding the pace car Bird as he heads back to pit lane. They're gonna hand it back to Cameron Rich, who gets the jump once again.
Good start there.
Solid start from top 5. You mentioned him too, Trey. Levi Zielinski had worked his way into the top 5 for those pit stops. Curious to see if he's got any speed here.
He was quick. I'm expecting to see him move his way to the front quite prominently, to be honest.
Looks like Velez trying to get rid of Lindsay there and get around to him. It's going to open the door for that 97.
Not quite able to clear him, but he will here going into 3.
And another player back on the lead lap there. Sorry, Trey. Sam Close. So
Yep.
Can't count him out. He said, I want that top seed in the playoffs. Well, you don't have quite as far to run on this final little stint here. You're going to push the tires a little bit more. We saw they were pretty stable. Get all you can get there.
I think I would, because I think Velez was saving just a little bit of tires in the last few stints.
Lindsay and Close there.
Yeah, but you can't let those guys get away from you like you did in the past. I think he's got to go.
Yeah, I think he needs to keep that pressure on Kevin Finn to make sure if he can't get around Cameron, he lets him get around himself there and see if he can track down Cameron. Because we know if they get side by side, it's going to be a battle and drag more cars into it.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing, because Velez has been quite patient, but time patience is over. He has to race his way in.
Yeah, he has to win, so might see the old bumper come into play, maybe.
But Zielinski might steal the show from everybody here. He's mad fast.
Noticing these guys are not hugging that bottom through 1 and 2 at all. I mean, even at the start of the runs, they're kind of arcing that late entry in. Maybe it's a little too greasy down there. Just had Scott Ickes come around the track.
Oh. I'm gonna put his hands on my pickles. I'm fine.
Oh, God. Little gaggle back there with Hackathorn and Cody Wright, Paul Ross, and I believe that's Richard Hines back there.
Velez is really backing up his centers, and he seems to be getting a good run up off. But Zielinski goes right up to his back bumper there that last time by, so might have to start putting a little bit more pressure on that 14 in front of him.
That's the problem when you do it, right? You back up the corner, and if the guy behind you doesn't want to back up the corner and runs you over, it's kind of like, well, it's the accordion effect at one point. Someone's going to back it up too far and get punted.
Yeah, Velez got a little bit loose there up off of 4, and the 97's going to try to take full advantage of that, and he should be able to clear him right off of turn 2. Oh, Velez lost a lot of time on that.
Yeah, lost a lot of time trying to get back down in 3 there. Kind of miscalculated that turn in. The turnologist in me says he missed an apex.
Yes.
Ooh, Cameron Rich got a little bit of a wiggle there coming down the front.
So apparently, I'm looking at chat. Richard Lafferty is no fan of the 97 car.
Well,
Evidently.
either that or he has quite the man crush. We can't tell.
Wait
Pigs
for
or
further.
didn't happen.
So is that kind of like the third grade boy pulling the hair of the third grade girl because he really likes her?
I mean, probably.
Velez is still running faster lap times than the guys in front of him, but his little miscue with Zelensky, I think, kind of... Ooh, Zelensky washed up right there. Maybe take advantage of that and catch up. He's just got to try to put down some hot laps and not make the tires too hot, I guess, at the same time. It's going to be hard to do.
You're going to have to do something with this 17. Otherwise, he's just going to run away with us again.
Yeah, he's trying to now.
I mean, they're right there, but Kevin Finn's been right there all night. He's just slowly crept away from Kevin, so he needs to turn that wick up just a little bit. Maybe put a little more crown in that cup. Ooh, Zelensky cells are in there. Not gonna stick.
Contact!
It's gonna save
Oh,
us.
no!
Correct,
Man.
Oh.
48 out.
No caution
Wow.
for that?
Oh,
Unbelievable. There's the caution.
Okay, there we go.
that's terrible.
And that is how someone else's mistake ruins your race.
Oh,
Just
man.
drove her in there and didn't want to stick on exit. Clips the 14. 14 tries to save it, overcorrects. 48 done.
Levi said, I don't think I hit yet. The replay begs to differ.
That's unfortunate too. Nathan Velez was in a good position there to maybe steal the show, get a win, and make his way into the playoffs, but it's all for naught now. His race is done.
Now, I'm not going to say any evil intentions there. That was just hard
No,
racing. He
yeah.
just clipped him.
Yeah.
Man,
Without a doubt.
kind of. I hate that though, because that was a good race shaping up.
Yeah, we were gonna have probably a 3 or 4 car race for first place at the end of that. Now it's gonna be.
Man,
Well, Corey Lindsay's quick too. We saw him. He never really got a chance to battle with these guys, but now he's sitting pretty in 3rd position.
I guess we got our answer in chat there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I think there's just a little bit of a love connection there.
Yeah, unfortunate, but that's what happens. That was the slightest of touches too. I can't believe that.
Yeah, I just tapped him. Zelensky's gonna come out 2nd, and Lindsay coming out 3rd. We'll see if anybody does take the wave around here. I believe Paul Ross is gonna get the lucky dog. That'll put him back in contention for this thing too. It'll be restarting the tail end of the longest line, unfortunately, but
Yeah, that's not gonna help him any, but you never know. Is he getting the wave around? Or the lucky dog? He's getting the wave around, isn't he?
oh, is he? I
See,
called that
he
one.
should
Race
have.
Clark must have.
Yeah, 'cause he
gotten
should have
the
pitted by
lucky dog.
now. So that's not really gonna help. I mean, it helps him get back on the lead lap, but it's not gonna help him tire-wise.
No, Mike Stevens did not take the wave around there. He's still 2 laps down. And Race Clark's gonna be on the lead lap again. So pretty much Race just has to stay out of trouble. And knock on wood as much as he can, because I think I just jinxed him.
I don't think we're done. We're done with the race yet, here, boys. I think this 97. I think he wants to win bad.
I think so.
Not like, you know, he's not gonna wreck anybody, but he's obviously gonna race you pretty hard for it.
He may not wreck you, but he's not going to cut you any slack.
Is he gonna rattle your cage, maybe?
Yeah.
He's got his Intimidator button on there for sure.
So our chat has a difference of opinion on the people involved in that incident. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I thought that was yeah, let's not go there. My mind read different into that. So it's a long day playing farming sim with Matt. So
Hurricane Farming Sim, if you want to see the video of today's shenanigans, be up sometime in this
within
week.
3 weeks.
Sometime in the next few weeks on Got That Stat on YouTube. Check that out. It's going to be some shenanigans.
How many months are left in 2017?
So I heard you guys put that McLaren engine in your tractor and had some adventures today.
Yeah, it worked about as expected.
I figured out you can't drive a 35-foot header down a highway. That's not advisable.
Well, reset your top 5 here, I guess, and get back on track. Cameron Rich, still your leader. Levi Zelensky steals his way up into the 2nd position. Corey Lindsay 3rd. Johnny Thomas 4th. Sam Close in the 5th spot as Bert gets ready to pull off the track.
Gonna pull down and hand it over to Cameron Rich, and he's gonna get the jump once again.
So I like Corey Lindsay.
Was solid run too.
Yeah.
He was on it.
He's been on those restarts all night.
It's like he's trying to make that move on.
They keep battling side by side like this. That 17's going to take off. And Lindsay and Sam Close are both clear. And now Johnny Thomas working on the 97.
Yeah, I think that 17 definitely does not want to see that 5 come up in his rearview mirror because he's had that speed to run with the leaders. He just kind of got himself behind when the wall hit earlier. And some bad strategy on pit lane under green there.
Yeah.
According to Lafferty, you don't want that 97 coming up in your rearview mirror because he's a joystick.
Well, you know.
I like how we have the drivers from the race coming in during the race chatting too. That's just something different.
I mean, unlike NASCAR, they do get to have their phones in the car in 3 lines. So.
Yeah.
Even if it does make you lag out sometimes.
I don't have a Snapchat on Canadian internet.
Lindsay's losing a few spots here.
Yeah, he's going to try to get back underneath the 97 here, maybe. The 97 went deep there.
Overcooked that corner just a touch.
Bring Johnny Thomas up alongside him. He can't get it done. And was Lindsay going back underneath Corey Lindsay here?
Classic dive bomb move there.
Yeah, the 90 should have shut the door on that one, though. That would have stopped that one.
Oh, wow, he drove that in there 10 cars too deep.
Oh, it's not going to work.
There's contact. And that's going to be a caution. Lindsay's around.
3 into 1 was not going to work there, boys. I think the 90 was trying to stay off the 97 with the undercut, but the 83 was already there.
Yeah, Lindsay would have had to run up off. So Lindsay got lucky on that one. So that could have ended badly for him.
I mean, Corey Lindsay's got dive bombers in the front, dive bombers in the back.
He has really nowhere to go.
I know, right?
Clowns to the left of me, jokers for the race.
I know, right? I didn't realize I was in the Air Force, man.
See if anybody does some strategies here now, because we're only 25 laps to go. Somebody's going to dethrone that 17.
I'd like to say good job, chat, for jinxing Corey. Good job. Yeah, we're looking at you, Drew.
Freaking Eisenman.
And it's going to put Paul on the lead lap with fresh tires. So.
Yeah, he took, what, did he take the wave around last time?
Yes, he did. So he also won't have to restart behind the entire field this time. So that's also going to be nice.
Johnny Thomas is going to be the new leader here as he takes 2 tires.
Well, we saw this last night, and I can't remember who did it. Was it? Oh, it was Rusty Webb, and he made it almost to turn 1 with the lead. So.
Yeah.
But tires not as crazy tonight, so he'll probably make it at a turn 2 with the lead.
Wait, did Corey Lindsay not pit? The 90 and the 83. 90's going to be your new leader here, sorry. Check what I just said. And Johnny Thomas lining up P2. And Lindsay's car looks like it got hit by a... Yeah, everything.
I stand corrected. Apparently Scott Ickes is in the 90 car tonight. Because that's a typical, well, I just got punted. Screw you guys, I'm staying out.
Making Richmond great again is that 83 car.
I mean, this place used to have good races. Remember back in the day?
Not the time we went, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it had one lead change the year we went. So.
And
That's
that
fine,
isn't that the year Munger ended up on the turn 1 fence?
Ooh, possibly.
That was wild. Yeah, I'll tell you, there was a quite tenfold increase in police presence after that lad decided he was gonna do that. I don't even know what you would call that.
I mean, it's funny because obviously they weren't paying attention. He climbed the freaking catch fence before they noticed him. Like, how hard is that to notice a guy climbing the fence who's not
State
named Castor
troopers.
Nevis? I mean,
Yeah. Well, Old Smoke used to do that too at one point.
yeah, well,
They decided he was too fat to be climbing fences.
Yeah, it took Smoke a week to climb that fence.
Home Depot's like this guy needs a ladder.
Right?
All right, he needs one of those chairs you sit in that pulls you up the steps, you know?
I want one of those. So this is going to gaggle up. If Lindsay starts on the inside, that's going to back Cameron Rich right up. He's going to start on the outside with his buddy Sam Close.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I see spinning tires on the restart in the future.
I see a teammate countdown, and it's going to let Sam Close get by possibly both these cars on the outside.
Yeah. That shuffles Levi Zielinski all the way back to the 5th position also.
Well, I'm sure he can push his way back up to the top 2.
Another time to do that, though. We're going to be 20 laps to go when these guys take the green flag.
Oh, that's plenty of time. We got Bert, he's all rested up. He's going to pull back down to pit lane and hand it back over to Corey Lindsay, who's already gone.
Johnny Thomas had a nice start there, however.
It didn't work out too good for Sam Close. Although he's been quicker than Johnny Thomas, so if he can pinch Cameron in behind him, he might be able to make something happen, but not going to work.
Johnny's going to be second here. He's going to be having his eyes set on that 90 car, but I don't think the 90's making it too easy to get by him after the last contact.
No, probably not, even though that was just a racing deal, too.
Yeah. Still side by side back there, 17 in the 5, and Luis Salmaso was right in the middle of that as well.
Making a little run here at the end. That 4 car's kind of been quiet all night, but showing a little speed here right at the end.
Corey Lindsay actually holding a nice wheel up there. Just as I say that, he slips up a bit, but
And that 5
Cameron
car
got
sent it
clear.
into 1 and 2 like it was, you could see Elvis there. Probably
battle
gonna
for
cost
leads,
him another spot.
three-horse battle right now. Corey Lindsay, Johnny Thomas, Cameron Richmond looked high here. The 83 and maybe the 90 as well. Oh, he got loose on the entry.
Whew, I just shut the door on the 4 there.
Thomas, oh, good lord.
I believe that's a little defensive driving there.
A little bit. This is NASCAR, so you will not get penalized for that.
No, but if Cameron Rich is smart, he'll read this playbook and oh, as he gets
sideways
sideways
around.
around.
And the 97, the 17 and the 5. Knock him up, pick him up, and put him down. Good lord.
Wow, no caution.
97's done there.
97's hard on the inside wall.
We're
Off the
4
track.
abreast at the back of the pack here. Let's try to figure out where we're going here from now on. Johnny Thomas, your new leader, he got by them there in that calamity.
Jesus.
He came there like a plow truck.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say the 97 kind of just drove in there.
Yeah.
Looked like one of the plows we have here in big snowstorms.
Wow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I don't know how that did not bring out a caution.
He Denny handled that one pretty good. Yeah, he spun in front of. Wow, that's crazy.
That's just incredible, that.
Meanwhile, Johnny Thomas was able to get around Corey Lindsay for the lead.
And he's driving away, Trey.
Well, I mean, Cameron Rich was sawing on it through 1 and 2, so I'm sure his tires are probably shot now.
And Sam Close has damage from that disaster in turn 2.
Oh, you wanted drama? There it is.
Lots of it. Corey Lindsay sitting P2 right now. And he's blocking that 17, trying to hold him off.
Yeah, that was a little block there. Hey, it's that time of the race, man.
It's time to go. You're not going to let anybody get by you now.
I was gonna try and peek on those 17 into 1. Not gonna get it done though.
Johnny Thomas might get his first regular season win. And,
Oh, that
no!
is sideways.
Saves it.
That's not what Johnny Thomas wanted.
No, because now you have a very fast 17 car going to be eating
Well,
up your
both
mirrors.
these
It
guys-
loose.
5.
Both
The
these
5
guys
never
are
even saw him.
on a rail.
Matt Hackathorn is in
Man,
fourth
he's
place.
sticking him in there. That 5's pushing that 17.
Matt Hackathorn needs to win to get into the playoffs, and he's sitting in a good position right now. 10 laps to go this time.
He's just hoping something happens up here with these front 3. Some kind of shenanigans.
He's still quick, too.
Man, this race just kind of got turned upside down on its head.
It did. Yeah, the 12 is the only one with a clean car right now in the front 4.
How hard do you think he's pedaling?
I think he's got a run.
It's like, man, it's right there. Come on, it's right there.
Race Clark, Corey Lindsay are banging doors down the front stretch here. Race Clark's going to take over the 5th position.
Cameron
And the
Rich
battle for the lead
all over
is
the back bumper.
incredible now.
I got a feeling someone's going to get turned because they are not going to want to give up a spot.
Nope.
No.
I mean, I can't blame them. This is the last race. This is what it's all for right here. The 5. Man, he sells that thing.
He let him get it back, though. He let him get the front back in under him.
Ooh, 83 got a bad exit there.
17 got a big run on the outside.
17's not holding him down too much. He did a little bit on that corner exit. It might be 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, boy. Closest thinking about it. He's been pretty conservative in not driving in there and wrecking him.
Oh,
is he punts him, though?
They did.
The
He
17
sure
takes
did.
lead. Matt Hackathorn
Still
can come by.
sideways.
Matt
Hackathorn.
Hackathorn might be in the catbird seat here.
They would
Wow.
have passed both of them.
Eddie, there's going to hit the 5.
Yep,
Yes, he
sure
is.
did.
Oh,
Up
come
the
on.
hill. Saves it.
Yep, good call, producer.
No need to bring it a caution there.
Sometimes your panties get the best of you.
Oh, Matt Hackathorn and Cameron Rich hit the wall.
Jesus.
No.
Meanwhile, Race Clark is in P4.
Clark, as long as he doesn't get in any issues here in the all race.
Wow,
Battle
this
right
is
now.
unbelievable.
Matt Hackathorn, 5 laps to go. He's a second back, unfortunately, for Cameron Rich. He's just got to hope that Cameron makes a mistake. He wants to get in that playoffs.
He's got to be smooth and steady here. Don't overdrive the car just because you see the leader. You've got to hit your marks. $14 working his way through here around with a 5. I've lost a lot of track position from that. I'm sure he's going to have a few choice words for Mr. 83.
Yeah, there's no need of that with hard racing. There's no need of dumping somebody, so sure I'm going to stand on that. I don't want to get flack for it, but
Careful.
Well, I mean, he gave him a little bump going in with 83. You
Oh,
could
yeah,
just
don't-
return the bump back.
Yeah, don't be unprofessional.
I don't think I am professional to begin with there.
Doesn't look like Hackathorn's got anything, though.
Definitely Hackathorn's best run so far this season, so good on him.
Well, if he keeps it up, we're going to get an interview from him, so he's going to finish second or third. Should be coming to the white flag this time. The 5 still interlocked back here with the 14 and the 4. Just can't get by these guys as they're still side by side for P2.
Oh, Matt Hackathorn trying to hold off Johnny Thomas here.
Looks like Cameron Rich is going to be your winner tonight, but who's going to get second? Looks like it's going to be Johnny Thomas.
Thomas. Race Clark comes home fourth.
That's going to be a happy camper.
Yeah. Sit here and watch the 5. See if any fireworks happen. Oh, the 90 turn 5. What? That's a teammate.
That don't mean anything.
That's a good run for Eisenman. Eisentech Enterprises, sorry. All
Let's call
four
them
of
the
their
Evil
cars,
Empire. God.
Yeah, I'm going to. All 4 of their cars are into the playoffs, and never thought of it when we were calling it there. But if the 17 did not hold that hard charge and 12 off, 22 wouldn't have made the show.
No, a lot of things happened there that fell the right way for Race Clark, but honestly made for a very exciting, what was that, 10, 15 laps there?
Yeah, and Cameron Rich just did the Jimmy Johnson there, knocked the back end off the wall. I think somebody should check that in tech.
I'm sure Drew's been getting those cars ready, a little few adjustments to them. But Cameron Rich does sweep the weekend, so. What do you say we grab our very, probably ecstatic third place finisher there, Trey?
Okay.
As he's talking about body modifications in the chat.
Who we want first?
Hackathorn, if he's here.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, he's all the way at the bottom.
Figures, bottom boy.
He
Oh, he
disappeared
came
from there.
back. He came back up to Isentech now.
Oh God, stay still.
He's not used to being up here. He's moving all around.
Energizer Bunny.
All right, he's not used to it. He's moving all around. Started 15th, finished 3rd. I firmly believe, Matt, it was because you put your number in the right fucking place tonight. Good race. I think you came up short of a little playoffs. Needed to win to get in, but still got to be happy with the strong run tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely kind of a change from the whole year's gone. I mean, even last night I got a top 5. I think I kind of hit the end of my bad luck. My power supply blew up on Thursday. I got the replacement yesterday, so I got no practice, and I kind of just came in and let the race play, and it played out pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, you were just a heartbeat away from possibly grabbing that playoff spot. How hard were you trying to drive to catch Cameron Rich there at the end when you saw that unfold around you with the 97 and everything kind of taking some cars out around you?
I was dedicated. I was gonna either get into it or get through it. That's kind of the way I was looking at it. But I didn't take gas from about lap 120-ish. I didn't take any gas from then on. So at the very end, I had too much rear braking and I kept getting loose on entry. I was too busy racing to be able to push it back up.
Well, Matt, I was I was definitely your biggest fan sitting up there calling it because I could have changed that completely everything with you snagging a win here tonight. If you would have been able to get that break, kind of reassemble, do you think you would have had anything for that 17? Besides, it was quick all night, but you were sitting there, no damage on your car at that time, and I thought you were in the catbird seat.
I was hoping so. I saw them all get wadded up, and I saw a camera start getting loose. I'm like, okay, here's my opportunity. Don't lift. Aim for the hole and hope for the best. And probably make it to the top, but you can't beat any of those Isentech guys very often. Those guys are an awesome group, probably some of the nicest people. But I'm glad to at least get onto the radio for something that's not me getting ran over at Daytona coming off pit road.
I mean, that was the highlight of the year, though. That was pretty awesome.
If I don't win a trophy for that, I'm going to be sad.
All right, Matt. Great run tonight, man. And give us those shout-outs before we let you go, brother.
Well, I got to thank Mike Stevens. His night didn't go as expected. He gave it his best. He's an awesome guy. I feel bad for him, but race. I got to thank all the Drew for actually making all my A-car paint schemes. They're beautiful. They're freaking awesome. I don't know where Peter was. I was kind of sad Peter wasn't here, but it was awesome to be able to finally race with Cameron because we do a lot of off the league stuff, all in the hosteds and stuff. So otherwise, thanks to you guys for covering it. Not making too many jokes towards me for how my year's gone, but I'm hoping it's finally better.
Well, yeah, definitely hacked your way through the field here.
Oh,
Matt.
boy.
Oh, here we go with the puns.
Oh, speaking of puns, we got the keyboard warriors getting rowdy in chat.
Oh, get some, yeah.
All right,
You're gonna have to get on
Matt. Hey, we appreciate it, buddy. You've had some of the shittiest luck in the league, man. I'm personally, I know Mattis as well. We're happy to see that you got everything working back, and nice solid run tonight, Matt.
I'm glad to finally be on here, man. I told you if by the end of the year I wanted to be on here. I had a third place car and I tried to make it a first place car.
All right, bro.
Thank you guys.
All right, guys. I got Race Clark.
Oh, what's up?
4th place finisher. Started 7th tonight. Did what you had to do, Race, to make your way into the playoffs. Tell us a little about your race tonight, and but more specifically, what do you think your chances are heading into the playoffs?
Well, as far as the race tonight, I haven't been on our racing that much. Like, I really haven't been as heavy into it. I really just get on once a week for the league. So I feel like I've kind of regressed. I feel like it takes me like half the race to finally get in the track and feel confident what I'm doing. Because I normally qualify well, and then I'll fall back all race, and at the end I can kind of charge back to the front. But yeah, I did just that. I was at least going to get 7th without any of the mishaps up front. But thanks to all that, I got 4th out of it. And then as far as the chase, I fell face first into it last year, and I was like 2 points off of Johnny from making the final 3. So I think I'll do pretty well. I like the tracks that are in the trace. I seem to pick it up a little bit around this time.
Well, you mentioned you haven't been on iRacing all that much. Is that going to change now that the playoffs are coming? You're going to try and put a little more effort in there, maybe learn a few more of these lines, and hope the track conditions actually come into your favor here with this supposed new dynamic track finally working?
Yeah. I think now that I'm not so, I mean, like, Darlington. I mean, like, honestly, I've just had a bumpy season. Besides Bristol and Sonoma, those 2 are my fault. But in that, I just seem to be caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then if I don't, I end up having a good race like Five Flags or Iowa or tonight. So, but that's definitely now with being in the chase and having that little bit of motivation and a new playing field, for sure going to put in a little more hours and try to take another shot at it.
Well, Race, I have a kind of a 2-part question here. First part of her is, did you see that the dynamic track actually worked tonight? Because from our standpoint, it looked like you guys are a little bit farther up the track than you were at the start of it.
Honestly, it's hard for me to say because, like I said, I just I feel like I spent over half the race just figuring it out, and then I really get going. So but I really probably wasn't running the proper line. But yeah, for sure, I noticed people moving up. I like to stay on the bottom, which maybe, I don't know, it might have been hurting me, but I probably don't have the best opinion on that just because I just kind of spent half the race even learning it, and by that time I'd say the group had probably moved.
Now, the other one, what tracks are you specifically looking forward to here in the playoffs? Because I know we have some nice little changes from what NASCAR normally does, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I do too. I'm definitely looking forward to... Let me pull it up.
Looking forward to so many, he doesn't know what to look forward to.
Right.
Yeah,
What tracks are we running?
I'm looking forward to Milwaukee as long as Drew doesn't dump me in the last lap again. Classic stuff.
Cue the video.
I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen, of course. I enjoyed Dover. I like all the tracks in the chase, really, except for Texas. I've had success at all these tracks, with the exception of Texas, but at least in that same round, there's Phoenix. I won Talladega in the chase last year. I know everybody on iRacing like, oh, I'm pretty good at plate tracks, but I honestly feel like I'm pretty decent at it.
Well, Race, hopefully you won't finish second like your National Predators did this year, but we'll see as the playoffs move on.
Yeah, have a good one, dude.
I'm just gonna put him in some random channel. It doesn't matter.
Good job, Matt. Just stick it to him right there at the end.
Right.
I had to give him the gears.
All right, guys. We got our second place finisher. He started 10th. Lackluster performance for qualifying. Practiced very well. Showed a lot of speed in practice. A lot of speed last night in the B car. Kind of backed it up tonight with a lot of speed, but finished second. Clearly in the playoffs, looking to chase that championship here in the Cold Hard Art Series. Johnny Thomas, tell us about your race. Tell us about the playoffs coming up.
Yeah, it feels good to be relevant once again. I feel like I haven't been interviewed in 3 months. But the race was pretty good today. I think the dynamic track really came into effect. The car was super tight, and we had to move up the track. And I like Richmond being right on the yellow line, but I like a loose setup. I thought I was really fast last night, and I screwed myself up. But this night, tonight it was a little tighter, and there was a lot of guys quicker than me, and I took 2 tires there at the end and just tried to hold them off. Corey had no tires and damage. I got around him, and then Cam was just so much faster that I couldn't hold him back. But it was a good run. Second place is nice because I haven't sniffed the top 5, and it feels like forever. So it's good to be battling these guys that are championship contenders, and I've kind of just been riding around for the past 3-4 months, and now that the playoffs have started, I'll start focusing in a little bit more on this.
Yeah, let's expand on that maybe a little bit more, because you say you're riding around. I mean, you've built up pretty good point gap coming into this race. You didn't really have to worry about anything. So I know you haven't gotten the win, but are you maybe happy that at least you've been consistent all year when you haven't been caught up in someone else's mess or maybe a bad strategy somewhere along the way? You think you can turn that performance up just a little bit more to maybe get a win here in the playoffs and be one of those top contenders?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I can win a championship again. It's just these races. I'm not saying the competition is not hard, but if you can finish in the top 10 consistently, you can make the chase or make the playoffs pretty easily. And that's what I kind of did this year and last year. I'm just kind of riding around. I finished top 5 in points overall. So if I can finish top 5 in points, just riding around, if I put a little bit more effort into this on Mondays, then I should have a good shot. I get on Thursday practice sessions. I haven't been on a single Thursday practice session at all, so I'll use that to my advantage once the playoffs come, and hopefully pick up a win. I'm more focused on a win. I haven't won in forever, so I don't even know where we go next. I just want to get there, get going, and hopefully get championship number 2.
A win, join the club. I think we're all of us in the booth are looking for one of those.
Yeah, we all need one.
All right, Johnny. Well, congrats on your good, solid run. Definitely a confidence. Got to be a confidence boost heading into the playoffs. But before we let you go, bud, give us those "Make America Great Again" shout-outs, man. Let's hear it.
That's right. Everybody that helps out at JTR, Richard, Wade, Steve, a lot of the guys that put a lot of time into this. I know Corey puts a lot of time into it. You guys for broadcasting this, and Cam and Sam and Corey tonight. Them last 10 laps were a lot of fun, and I haven't really had a whole lot of fun this year. So it's good to have some fun.
All right, Johnny. Well said. We look forward to watching your progress throughout the playoffs, man, and we wish you good luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right, who won this race?
Some Cameron guy?
Yeah, Jessica's wife. We got him. He started on the pole. He finished first. He swept the weekend. He led 154 laps. Good, solid race. 3-4 cautions tonight. A little exciting there at the end. But Cameron, tell us about your race tonight, bud.
Yeah, can we just all take a minute to appreciate how good that racing at the end was? That was just awesome. To me it was. I don't know if y'all saw what I did, but that was intense as hell in the driver's seat, and it was clean until I think Johnny and Sam got into it. But yeah, it was a fun race. A lot better than last night, obviously. Made it a little more enjoyable, but yeah, I think I was good on the short and medium run, but I don't know what the heck I did on the long run. I got caught by Paul there on that first or second run, and I don't know. I just I was trying to not push harder than I had to and just save my stuff, and I guess I need to bring out my inner Chuck Sweeten a little bit, because he knows what he's doing when it comes to that. Hopefully when he races here more, I can learn from him, because he's got his stuff figured out.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Chuck's dealing with that bitch called Irma, so he was right in the path of it. The good news is Chuck's okay. He's without power, so he'll be back. But Cameron, I mean, outstanding run, man. What do you think your chances are to bring home the title in the Cold Hard Art Series?
Well, I think it's gonna be hard. Peter and Peter and Sam are gonna be tough as usual, and I think you have Kevin in there. He's kind of a dark horse, but not really. And you know, Johnny's consistent, and Paul, and you know, everybody in the chase. You know,
Playoffs.
the playoffs, the chase offs. Yeah. Everybody in the playoffs, you know, they have a shot because you don't know what'll happen. So it'll be fun. I want to say I have a good shot. After what happened last season, it was a little bit of a heartbreaker, and I want to finish one spot better than I did. So you know, it's on from here, and I'm gonna give it all I can and all I have, and you know, when we get to Homestead, we'll see how much that was.
Well, I will say, congrats. We did have green flag pit stops tonight, and you managed to get on and off pit lane smoothly. I know that was a big issue a few weeks ago, so that was good to see. And looks like you've got your race strategy turned back around the right way.
Yeah, I was proud. I got on a pit road without spinning, hitting the pit wall, doing a Kenseth, or like speeding, or you know, exploding or something like that. It was pretty good. I know I've been a little bit of a head case in the past 16 races or so. I've been making useless, stupid mistakes for absolutely no reason, and probably making myself look like a total idiot on the broadcast to everybody. But I hope I can not do that when it actually matters these next 10 weeks. Because like I said, I'm gonna give it all I have to go get the championship. Because you know, this year it's all or nothing. I'm not gonna accept second, so I'm gonna either win it or I'm gonna stuff it in the fence trying.
Right on, Cameron. But before we let you go, man, you know the deal. You've been here before. Give us those shout outs.
Well, first of all, I got to thank you guys for broadcasting us. I mean, through last night, that 24-hour Richmond race, it was pretty cool. You guys put up with us. And, obviously, my teammates for awesome. I'm glad Race was able to keep himself in the playoffs. It's pretty cool. And I just want to thank you know, everybody here. This league is fun. It's so competitive. It's so hard to win these races, and it's really awesome. I mean, I think at Cold Hard Art for all the sponsorship they give us to run this series, because he does really cool stuff, and I don't say that just to say it. I say it because it's really, you know, it's really cool, all the stuff he does, and it's cool to have a sponsor like that. And my girlfriend for watching, you know, as always, big #1 OCR fan. So thank you, love you, and yeah.
All right, that's awfully sweet. I like mixtapes, little Commodores, some BGs, you know, to get me in the mood. So next week, slip me a mixtape, Cameron.
Good lord.
Will do. It'll be in the mail for you.
Wow, we have totally gone off track, but appreciate it, Cameron, and we look forward to watching you chase the championship.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night.
I don't think he's old enough to know what a mixtape is, Trey.
That's probably true.
That
Probably thought it was some kind of really weird thing. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say.
I would like to say shout out to Three Wide Racing for recovering from the 24 hours of Richmond last night and putting on, in my opinion, a hell of a show. What do we have? What, 3-4 cautions? 200-lap race? Exciting racing there at the end. So kudos to the boys for putting on a hell of a show.
I'm going to say this. I can't believe iRacing has built a better Cup setup than an Xfinity setup. So maybe work on that iRacing, because clearly tonight the setup, same drivers, just different car, different setup. So it clearly came into play. Hopefully we can carry this on to next week. The Cup Series is actually off next week, but we have the Nathan Young Designs B Car Series will be at their regular season finale at Auto Club Speedway, and then I believe next Monday will be the season finale of Dirt. So we'll see if Peter Short can hold off Kyle Hanshaw with a. I think he says have a solid run. I mean, it's like 20
I think he's
points.
locked her up already there.
You never know. We might get a huge crowd if chat's still listening. You all need to come out to Dirt, make it like a 30-car field so we can see an exciting points battle.
Apparently, our producer's ready to go. He's got some popcorn in the microwave, so he's ready to go.
Now, when did he get a new microwave?
Must be that Hurricane Irma thing.
Blow one in. Well, for our always lovely producer. I think we have a Scottish Race Wednesday, by the way, too. You can come check that out if you want.